All right, Karen, this is kind of one of my favorite topics, influencers. Sometimes they come in a second, in a moment, sometimes a lifetime. When I speak, I always talk about my grandfather, was one of my first, maybe the first major one. He and my grandmother, my mom, my aunt came from Kiev. They went to Canada and he had an accent and he used to take me for walks in the park in Montreal when I was five-ish. And one day, I always saw he talked to so many people, and I asked him, "How do you know all these people?" And he said, "Well," and I remember him pointing to this fellow that was coming up to me. He said, "One day I smiled at that fella, and he smiled back at me, and then he came over like he's doing now and started talking to me, and then we started laughing, and then someone else came over and smiled, and I was a 5-year-old, and I remember my 5-year-old in my brain saying, well, life's going to be easy. I just have to smile at people." And it's stuck. And then you start getting older and you complicate things and make it more, you over expert it. And then you come back to, well, it really is just about the smile that can make a big difference for people. And so we all have a lot of influencers in our life, sometimes positively or negatively, but they are influencers. Can you share maybe, I know there's a lot, two or three people that have been influential in your life?
Sure. Well, I mentioned one already, my mom, who she just represented, hey, you want to be an actress, go be an actress. So I was like, okay, I want to be a writer, I'll go be a writer. It put that in me. I also remember there was a teacher that I had when I was in like elementary school or high school or middle school. I don't know when it was, but I handed in an essay and they said, this is really good. You should consider maybe sending it out to get published. And I just like that like blew my mind. Like I couldn't even imagine it. And it put it in my mind.
Hmm.
And I still remember that. I thought published, I'm just a kid. But she put it in my mind. And so I don't even remember the teacher's name. I feel terrible about that. But I
Mr.
remember
Holland. It was probably Mr. Holland, Mr. Holland's Opus.
Holland.
Did you ever
Okay.
see the movie Mr. Holland's Opus?
No, I didn't.
Oh, great movie. Richard Dreyfuss, Mr. Holland's Opus. You got to watch it. It's an older movie.
Okay. All right. Well, we love movies here. So I'm going to recommend that for family movie night.
Go
Thanks.
for it. Anyone else you want to share about?
Yeah, and then it would be, I know this sounds so freaking ridiculous, but Aristotle. I write about a lot of Aristotle's philosophies and but I write about it in a funny way. I'm not like in a, but
I'm,
I
I'm
love
shocked.
but I love Aristotle's philosophy so much. And I named my son like Ari as a wink to Aristotle. I didn't name him Aristotle. I thought that would be like a
That'll
little
do mine, right?
much. But in Aristotle, he says a lot, but like he's even in my new book about that the goal of life is to do everything possible to grow to learn lessons that help you to become your best possible self. And he calls it the education of the soul. And he says the reason why so many people are unhappy is they have the wrong goal for their life. They think it's become the wealthiest person on this planet, or become the sexiest person on the planet, or have the most YouTube followers on this planet. And that's about like ego, status, fame, glory, beauty, money. And if you make those your end goals for your life, when you get to the end of your life, you're going to be very disappointed because you're going to realize you chased the wrong rabbits. And so he basically, Aristotle said that, to say it in a feisty way, the soul is your G spot for happiness.
You
That
got
every,
it right.
yeah, I mean, he didn't say that, but you know, but
I would have been interesting if you actually did say that.
yeah. But yeah, that we're here to like and to be true to ourselves, like whatever, if you don't like the word soul, it could be core self, like educate your soul, follow, be authentic, be brave, that's why we're here. And so I
There's a
love
lot to
that.
be said for that because there's a program, if you will, right now that you're enough where so you didn't become Oprah, you didn't become the professional athlete or actor or doctor or whatever, but you are enough and how great you've
Yeah,
become, you know?
yeah, you don't even when you get to the end of your life, it won't be like your achievements. Like nobody reads like your LinkedIn profile out loud at your funeral. Nobody's going to like open up your Google calendar and go, she never missed a dentist appointment. No, it's about like, it's about meaningful relationships. It's about living with strong core values and doing habits you're proud of and blah, 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 blah.
Kind of like being a leader who cares.
A lot like being a leader, very much. Aristotle would definitely, you should have him on, if he were around, I would recommend him for your show.
Yeah, maybe there's a holograph of him I can find. Um, Thank you for sharing that. That's awesome.
Thank you.